Hey everyone, Igor here from Velo Orange. I noticed that my rear hub was getting really loud, and that makes me think that the hub could use a good refresh of the grease that's between the pawls and the ratchet ring. It's really important for longevity and for the general health of your Velo rear hub. So let's crack it open, let's take a peek at what's going inside and see what we can do. Alright, first thing we're going to do, let's drop that chain into the small cog so it can be a lot easier to get the wheel out. Alright, so next step is let's get the rear wheel out. This is a trailer hitch, so it's going to look a little bit different than maybe your application. But the concept is similar. We back this nut off and then we'll be able to undo the 5mm here and pull the whole through axle out. So let's hold this guy in place. And so now it's loose. We can just undo the whole thing. Pull it straight out. And there we have it. So if you've never used a Velo hub before, it uses a toolless design. So basically you can pull the Freehub body off without having to use a cassette driver or anything like that. Really useful if you have a driveside spoke that's broken, you're stuck on the side of the road. You can pull the cassette off and make a repair, use a fiber spoke or something like that without having to carry a bunch of extra tools. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to put you in the stand. Alright, now that we have the wheel sitting on the bench here, cassette's pretty dirty, let's clean it real quick before we take it all apart so we don't get our hands absolutely filthy. So just a little bit of degreaser, no big deal. Here's a quick tip. You can actually, instead of trying to do it from the outside, you do something like this, kind of flossing the cassette, get everything nice and clean, move it around. I'm not going to make it spick and span, but you get the point. Looks a lot cleaner now. Alright, so disassembly is really easy. All you have to do is kind of just put your hands on either side of the cassette and kind of use the outside of your hands on the spokes as leverage, and it pulls right out. So what you have now is the end cap and the Freehub body. Now, it looks like some of the grease is already gone from the Freehub body, and it's pretty dry, a little bit dirty. So let's get some fresh grease in there and see how it does. So here's a close-up of the actual ratchet that's inside of the hub. Not much grease left in there, kind of dirty. Let's get that cleaned up, flushed out, and put some new grease in there. So here's the stuff that I've been using. It's Tech. They say it's specifically for Freehub bodies. I've used lots of stuff from Philwood Tenacious Oil to just the Park Tool Green Grease to NFS Speed Lube. I've really been liking this stuff. It has a really nice, not too thick, not too thin consistency. Really easy to apply. And so I've been pretty pleased with it. It also, in some scenarios, I've actually found that it quiets Freehub body noise. So let's give it a whirl. Oh, by the way, it is a little bit expensive. You can find it online for, I want to say this is 1 ounce, maybe it was like 15 or 16 bucks, but it goes a long ways. You really don't need to use much, but it does last a long time. So get this old Freehub body cleaned up, just shove a rag in there, move it all around, get all that old stuff out. Ugh. And I'll just keep in mind that this is like probably 2 years worth of riding in all seasons. So you really don't have to do this very often. But if you have, you know, half an hour to do it, it's good to pull the cassette off and just inspect things, look at the seals, make sure everything is okay, and do this. So I'm just going to take paintbrush I found in the garage and the lube, like that, and just kind of put it in there and move it all around. You don't have to be an artist about it. Just get it in there, and then we'll just clean off the excess so it doesn't leave a mess. We'll put some on the pawls as well. Do the outside, the inside, all around. Get right up in there. Alright, that should do it. Now reassembly is just as easy as taking it apart. You just line it up, slide it on. Now here's the key. You want to do it against the pawls so that it clicks. So basically, turn it, it drops right in. Oh! Listen to that. So much quieter. End cap. Just pop it right back on. Now we're ready to reinstall. Give your dropouts a quick wipe down. They deserve it. They work hard. It's always nice to clean stuff up while you're in there. Alright, next thing, grease your through axles. Something that's often overlooked but is very important. If you have a steel frame, your through axles are likely aluminum, dissimilar metals called corrosion. It's never happened to me, but I've read stories online about people's through axles getting stuck and corroded into place and they can't get them out, so you have to drill out the through axles and stuff like that. Don't be that guy on the internet. So, wheel goes back in, through axle in. This is why I love through axles. You put it in, the rotor stays, and derailleur stay in the exact same place every single time. With quick release, you kind of have to make sure you finagle it into place, and so this just takes the guesswork out of it. Nice hardy connection. And then with the trailer attachment, let's line it up as best as I remember. And snug it up. Depending on your trailer, it might be a little bit different, but this is usually where I put mine. So, that's done. Last thing, run your chain through all your gears again. Make sure everything works. Everything's perfect. Oh, you hear that? Exactly. It's night and day. Well, now people on the trail won't hear me coming, so probably should add a bell to this bike. Well, that's it for now. If you want me to do more videos like this, let me know in the comments, and we'll see what we can do. Thanks for watching. As always, happy riding.